For today's headlines, 4-day work week needs exceptions. Recovery efforts on right track with Public Services Act amendment. Resolve wage hike issues according to Eleazar. Aeta community gets a shot in the arm. Over 10,000 schools resume limited in-person classes. Theory of Light premieres at Expo 2020. Magnitude 5.1 rocks Cagayan. Ukraine's tuberculosis progress stopped in one day. Good morning, I am Kim Sancha and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is the 24th of March and these are the latest news this Thursday morning. Palace Businesses Advisor Joey Concepcion said the 4-day work week being suggested to save energy amid the skyrocketing fuel prices may be applicable to other jobs, but not in sectors such as manufacturing and other services. Concepcion maintained that whether it's a 4-day work week or a hybrid flexible work arrangement, the goal should still be to keep the engines of the economy going. He said that many small businesses such as cafeterias and transportation are built around employees' presence in the offices. Encouraging people to return to the offices will spur economic activity among these MSME. Further, the Palace advisor believes that while hybrid work or a continuation for work from home arrangement may be possible for white-collar jobs and even business process outsourcing or BPO, it may not be the case for employees who need to perform on-site work in manufacturing plants, render essential services, or handle physical goods. The Go Negosyo founder said that imposing a 4-day workweek arrangement for all businesses might disrupt workflows and affect costs, especially on businesses that rely on on-site work to be performed. Earlier, the country's chief economist Carl Chua of the National Economic and Development Authority or NEDA suggested that employees still work 40 hours per week, but instead of 5 days, it will be lessened to 4 and as a replacement for 8 hours a day. It will be 10 hours per day. Senator Christopher Bongo expressed optimism that the law amending the Public Service Act, which President Rodrigo Duterte signed on Tuesday, the 22nd of March, will help boost the Philippines' economy alongside other pandemic recovery efforts being pursued by the government. In a statement, Go said that Republic Act 11659 promotes healthy competition among various industries, which can pave the way for more favorable prices and quality services for Filipinos. The senator added that Congress has thoroughly studied the measure, particularly areas of concern such as national security. He said the law has enough safeguards to protect the country from said concerns. The lawmaker also voiced the confidence that in signing the law, the president remains consistent in putting the Filipino people's interests and welfare as this top priority. Under the measure, railways, airports, expressways, telecommunications, and shipping will all be designated as public services. This would allow 100% foreign ownership in these sectors. Noting that the Public Service Act has been governing law for 85 years before this amendatory measure, Go went on to say that it is only right to ensure that it responds to the changing times. Partido Reforma senatorial candidate and former Philippine National Police or PNP Chief Guillermo Eleazar urged the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE to immediately resolve the petition seeking increases in the minimum wage. The aspiring senatorial bet said that he is hoping the decision on these petitions will be equitable and just for both employees and employers. To recall, the National Wages and Productivity Commission said 6 regional wage boards have already received petitions for wage hike National Capital Region, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Western Visayas, Central Visayas, and Eastern Visayas. The Labor Department earlier said that it could not give an exact period on when the decision on the petitions would be released, as the boards will still have to process them based on rules and regulation. Eleazar said this is also among the things he wants to look into if he secures a seat in the Senate and wants to simplify government processes so that the public can be given more efficient and responsive services. He also appealed to local government units or LGU to allocate funds that would further increase the monthly financial aid from the national government to their respective constituents. Tribune News on Cue will be back after these reminders.
Mahalin natin ang Pilipinas.
Lilipad na ang agila, magtatanggol, magmamahal sa ating bansa.
We shall rise, soar, fight, and win!
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Oh, vaccination, isolation. Gotta keep up with my nutrition. Gotta maintain my body condition. Then I can take my vaccination. What do I choose? What do I take? As long as it is not a fake. AstraZeneca, Moderna, BioNTech, even Sinovac, okay na. Babakuna ka ba, 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 babakuna ka ba. Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, babakuna ka ba, 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 paturok, paturok, paturok.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
We are back on Tribune News on Cue. The Clark Development Corporation or CDC is eyeing to construct 2 pagsasarili family care centers in Mabalacat, Pampanga and Bambam Tarlac to provide services to the Aeta communities. In the said area, CDC Commission's Division Manager Eric Jimenez said that the educational facilities will provide holistic development education programs to about 55 Aeta children beneficiaries by elevating the delivery of quality learning experience to them. The Department of Education or DepEd on Wednesday disclosed that a total of 10,196 schools have already resumed face-to-face classes, with a total of 9,994 public schools and 212 private schools participating in the implementation of limited face-to-face classes as of Tuesday. DepEd Assistant Secretary Malcolm Garma said that the nominated schools are in areas under Alert Level 1 and Alert Level 2 and noted that there are other schools who are set to open their doors once more to students. Garma added that more than 14,000 schools nationwide are nominated for the progressive expansion phase of the limited in-person classes. In November 2021, the pilot testing of limited in-person classes started in select public schools in several areas in the country. This was the first time that elementary and secondary schools will hold in-person classes after 2 years of closure due to the coronavirus pandemic. Lighter Up Light, a Philippine-born global grassroots solar lighting movement, will have a world premiere for its pioneering environmental film Theory Applied on the 27th of March at the Expo 2020 in Dubai. Part historical chronicle, part environmental lesson, Theory Applied shows how Litter Applied is reinvigorating efforts to take action on climate change from the safety of home and inspiring new generations of innovators from the global south to come up with ideas that will change the world. The Philippines is one of the most climate vulnerable countries in the world. As part of the typhoon belt, the country expects 20 storms annually, but with the increase in global warming, 25% of these yearly storms are now classified as destructive. While Filipinos are admired for resilience, stories really focus on their rising up, building back, and innovative solutions that they have developed to take dramatic action. Dia said that only 1% of all global expenses for filmmaking are spent on the environment and the growing climate crisis. With this documentary, they want to flip the script and share stories of common humanity and hope that inspires others to make urgent and right decisions for the people and planet. The film is produced and distributed by TBA Studios, the same studio that produced General Luna and Goyo, Ang Batang General. Its development was supported by a grant from SM Prime Holding Incorporated, UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, and the Manila Conservatory. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
Alamin ang latest entertainment at sa mga paborito niyong celebrities kasama si Pocholo Concepcion sa programang WhatsApp. Makibanding at kwentuhan kasama ang mga kilalang personalidad sa entertainment industry. Sama-sama natin silang kilalanin at silipin ang makulay nilang mundo every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Kaya sit back and relax lang kayo mga katribu. Hanapin at ilike ang Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube. Dahil sagot na namin ang masayang kwentuhan dito lang sa WhatsApp. Non-stop showbiz update ba ang hanap nyo? Sagot na yan ang aming Tribune Extra. Balitang entertainment at lifestyle, mapalocal man o international, meron kami niyan. Manood at makichika na kasama si Kim Sancha, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 5 ng hapon sa Tribune News on Q at separate premiere nito ng alas 7:30 ng gabi. Mapapanood sa Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now on YouTube.
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. A magnitude 5.1 earthquake rocked Cagayan at 8:02 p.m. on Wednesday, the 23rd of March, according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS. PHIVOLCS said that the quake, with a depth of 20 kilometers, was located at 46 kilometers north, 48 degrees east of Camiguin Island, Calayan, and Cagayan. Intensity 3 was felt in Apari and Gonzaga, Cagayan. On the other hand, Intensity 2 was recorded in Peñablanca, Igig, and Tuguegarao City, Cagayan, and Intensity 1 in Claveria, Cagayan. According to PHIVOLCS, no damage was recorded. However, it is expecting aftershocks. As Ukraine struggles to cope with the immediate casualties of Russia's invasions, there are fears the war will also ruin the country's progress in its fight against tuberculosis. Ukraine has long struggled with tuberculosis, which was the world's biggest infections killer before the emergence of COVID-19 and spreads in a similar manner. Despite being diagnosable and normally easily treatable, the disease kills 1.5 million people a year globally and infects more than 10 million, according to the World Health Organization, or WHO. Ukraine records around 30,000 new cases annually and has one of the world's highest rates of drug-resistant tuberculosis, which represented 29% of the country's new tuberculosis patients in 2018. according to World Health Organization figures. But Ukraine has worked to address the problem in recent years, becoming the first country to trial a new pill against drug-resistant tuberculosis, which occur when the two most powerful antibiotics cannot kill the TB bacterial before the war. Ukraine had achieved a lot, said Olya Klimenko. World Health Organization recovered from tuberculosis in 2019 and went on to found an NGO, TB People Ukraine. But everything stopped in one day, she said. That day was February 24th when Russian troops invaded Ukraine. The TB unit lead at World Health Organization's European office said Ukraine was one of the pioneering countries in response to the disease in the region and praised its exemplary work. He said that before the war, regional warehouses had been well stocked and patients had been provided with 1 to 2 months supply of its medication. But with Russia's invasion, Ukraine's public health services have been derailed, affecting tuberculosis diagnosis and treatment, he told the journalists. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, Araneta City, the Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, Empire East Land Holdings Incorporated, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Kim Sanja on Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.